जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। श्री श्री किशोर किशोरी जी की जय। श्री श्रीनिताय गौर सुंदर की जय। श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा जी की जय। श्री ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। समवेत भक्तवृंद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Hare Krishna. So this morning we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 1. Text 41. Okay, 41. Is it 41? Okay. It's quite long. Okay. स्वप्ने यथा पश्यति देहं ईदृशं मनोरथेन अभिनिविष्टचेतनः दृष्ट श्रुताभ्यां मनसा अनुचिन्तयन् प्रपद्यते तत् किमपि ह्यपस्मृतिः। स्वप्ने यथा पश्यति देहमीदृशं मनोरथेनाभिनिविष्टचेतनः दृष्टश्रुताभ्यां मनसानुचिन्तयन् प्रपद्यते तत्किमपि ह्यपस्मृतिः स्वप्ने यथा पश्यति देहमीदृशम् मनोरथेनाभिनिविष्टचेतनः दृष्टश्रुताभ्यां मनसानुचिन्तयन् प्रपद्यते तत्किमपि ह्यपस्मृतिः. Please chant. स्वप्ने यथा पश्यति देहमीदृशम् मनोरथेनाभिनिविष्टचेतनः दृष्टश्रुताभ्यां मनसानुचिन्तयन् प्रपद्यते तत्किमपि ह्यपस्मृतिः. स्वप्ने यथा पश्यति देहमीदृशम् मनोरथेनाभिनिविष्टचेतनः दृष्टश्रुताभ्यां मनसानुचिन्तयन् प्रपद्यते तत् किमपि ह्यपस्मृतिः. स्वप्ने यथा पश्यति देहमीदृशम् मनोरथेनाभिनिविष्टचेतनः दृष्टश्रुताभ्यां मनसानुचिन्तयन् प्रपद्यते तत् किमपि ह्यपस्मृतिः. स्वप्ने यथा पश्यति देहमीदृशम् मनोरथेनाभिनिविष्टचेतनः दृष्टश्रुताभ्यां मनसानुचिन्तयन् प्रपद्यते तत् किमपि ह्यपस्मृतिः. So now the word meanings. Swapne, in the dream, in a dream. Yatha, as. Pasyati, one sees. Deham, the kind of body. Idrisham, similarly. Manorathena, by mental speculation. Abhinivishta, is fully observed. But Chaitana, he whose consciousness, drishta, by whatever has been experienced, by seeing with eyes, srutabhyam, and by hearing a description of something else, manasa, by the mind, anuchintayan, thinking, feeling, and willing. Prapadyate, surrenders, tat, to that situation. Kim api, what to speak of? He, indeed, apasmritihi, experiencing forgetfulness of the present body. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Having experienced a situation by seeing or hearing about it, one contemplates and speculates about that situation, and thus one surrenders to it, not considering his present body. Similarly, by mental adjustment, one dreams at night of having, under different circumstances, in different bodies, and forgets his actual position. Under this same process, one gives up his present body and accepts another. Tatha dehantara praptihi. From Bhagavad Gita. Purport. Transmigration of the soul is very clearly explained in this verse. One sometimes forgets his present body and thinks of his childhood body, a body of the past, and of how one was playing, jumping, talking, and so on. When the material body is no long workable, it becomes dust. Then, okay, this is something new for me. For dust thou art. Okay. And unto dust shalt thou return. Okay. This is not the Prabhupada, the language of Prabhupada books. This is probably from Bible, is it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But when the body again mixes with the 5 material elements, earth, water, fire, air, and ether, the mind continues to work. The mind is the subtle substance in which the body is created, as we actually experience in our dreams and also when we are awake in contemplation. One must understand that the process of mental speculation develops a new type of body that does not actually exist. If one can understand the nature of the mind, manorathena, and is thinking, feeling, and willing, one can very easily understand how from one mind different types of bodies develop. It's a science. The Krishna consciousness movement, therefore, offers a process of transcendental activities wherein the mind is fully absorbed in affairs pertaining to Krishna. The presence of the soul is perceived by consciousness, and one must purify his consciousness from material to spiritual, or, in other words, to Krishna consciousness. That which is spiritual is eternal, and that which is material is temporary. Without Krishna consciousness, one's consciousness is always absorbed in temporary things. For everyone, therefore, Krishna recommends in Bhagavad Gita 9.34, Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji imam namaskuru. One should always be absorbed in thought of Krishna. One should become his devotee. One should always engage in his service and worship him as the supreme God, supreme great. And one should always offer him obeisances. In the material world, one is always a servant of a greater person. And in the spiritual world, our constitutional position is to serve the supreme, the greatest, Param Brahma. This is the instruction of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Jivera Swarupa hoy, Krishnera Nityadas. Chaitanya Charitamrita 20.108. It's quite long. Should I read all? Okay. I get one more page. To act in Krishna consciousness in the perfection of life, to act in Krishna consciousness is the perfection of life and the highest perfection of yoga. As Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 6.47, Yoginam api sarvesham madgaten antaratmana Shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yuktatamo mataha. Of all yogis, he who always abides in me with great faith, worshipping me in transcendental loving service, is most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. The condition of the mind which flickers between sankalpa and vikalpa, these are Sanskrit words, sankalpa, vikalpa are the two activities of minds. Sankalpa means to accept something, and vikalpa means to find another option, right? So, the condition of the mind which flickers between sankalpa and vikalpa, accepting something and rejecting it, is very important in transferring the soul to another material body at the time of death. Again, Krishna quotes, Yam yam vapi shmaran bhavam tyajatyante kalevaram tam tame vaiti kaunteya sada tad bhava bhavitah. Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, that state he will attain without fail. In Bhagavad Gita 8.6. Therefore, one must train the mind in this system of Bhakti Yoga, as did Maharaj Ambarish, who kept himself always in Krishna consciousness. Sabai manah Krishna padaravindayo. One must fix the mind at the lotus feet of Krishna 24 hours a day. If the mind is fixed upon Krishna's lotus feet, the activities of the other senses will be engaged in Krishna's service. Haridas, this is Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchate. To serve Rishikesha, the master of the senses, with purified purified senses, is called bhakti. Those who constantly engage in devotional service are situated in the transcendental state, above the material modes of nature. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 14.26, Mam chayo vyavicharena bhakti yogena shevate sagunan samatityaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. One who engages in full devotional service, who does not fall down in any circumstance, at once transcends the modes of material nature, and thus comes to the level of Brahman. One must learn the secret of success from the Vedic literature, especially when the cream of Vedic knowledge is presented by Bhagavad Gita as it is. Because the mind is ultimately controlled by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, the word apasmritihi is significant. Forgetfulness of one's own identity is called apasmritihi. This apasmritihi can be controlled by the Supreme Lord. For the Lord says, Mattaha smritirjnanam apohanam cha. From me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. Instead of allowing one to forget one's real position, Krishna can revive one's original identity at the time of one's death, even though the mind may be flickering. Although the mind may work imperfectly at the time of death, Krishna gives a devotee a shelter at his lotus feet. Therefore, when a devotee gives up his body, the mind does not take him to another material body. The mind does not take him to another material body. Tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mam eti shurjuna. Rather, Krishna takes the devotee to that place where he is engaged in the pastimes, mam eti. As we have already discussed in previous verses, one's consciousness, therefore, must always be observed in Krishna, and then one's life will be successful. Let me read that again. One's consciousness, therefore, must always be observed in Krishna, and then one's life will be successful. Otherwise, The mind will carry the soul to another material body. The soul will be placed in the semen of a father and discharged into the womb of mother. The semen and ovum create a particular type of body according to the form of the father and mother. And when the body is matured, the soul emerges in that body and begins a new life. This is the process of transmigration of the soul from one body to another. Tatha dehantara prapti. Unfortunately, those who are less intelligent think that when the body disappears, everything is finished. The entire world is being misled by such fools and rascals. But as stated in Bhagavad Gita 2.20, Nahanyate hanyamane sarire. The soul does not die when the body is destroyed. Rather, the soul takes another body. The soul takes on another body. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki. So, it's a long purport. Any questions? So, this is the topic here. Vasudeva is trying to explain to Kamsa. Is it? Yeah, so Kamsa was about to kill Devaki because he heard that Devaki's 8th son will be the cause of his death. Kamsa. Since he is a demon always like to live forever, which is not possible. And when he heard that from the sky boys that he's going to be killed from his own sister's son, so he was so enraged with anger. How can somebody kill? How can somebody kill me? I am what I am. So so before that child is born, I will just finish. Before the fruit. If you finish the tree, that there will be no fruit. So similarly, he thought, I'll finish Devaki now. I'll kill her, so there will be no 8th child. So I will be living forever. I will be Ajara, Amara. So that was the mentality of this demon Kamsa. So he pulled out the sword. At that time, Vasudeva, he was so intelligent. He was so clever. And so he has to be, because he's going to be a father of Bhagavan. He's going to be the father of Krishna. Krishna will not come to any fool fathers. So Vasudeva is so, of course he is. When Vasudeva was born, it says in Bhagavatam that when Vasudeva was born, there were flowers falling from the sky, and then demigods beat the drums. Therefore, another name is Anakadundubhi. Anakadundubhi is the cattle drums that they play in some of the parties. Anakadundubhi. Shuta Anakadundubhe. Krishna is known as Shuta Anakadundubhe. He is the son of Anakadundubhi. So Vasudeva is now immediately thought of a plan. I have to save my wife Draupadi. And somehow, whatever, I had to offer him, some another, way, so that Devaki can be saved. So once Devaki is saved, then we can figure it out how to get out of those things. So Vasudeva offered him. He is giving now the philosophical reasoning how one cannot always live. One cannot be immortal. This transmigration of the body is going on. Yesterday, the example was given. Yatha trina jalauka ivam. Trina jalauka is a small little worm. It moves on one leaf to another. it goes on like this, It leaves the first part, with this front of his body, and then steps with the another leaf, and then it leaves the back part of his body. So it goes on like this. So in the same way, the body is preparing. This human life, this life is for preparation for the next life, next body. So what have been our preparation? What we have been doing in this life, so similarly our next life is being prepared. So the body is being prepared. So at the end of our this life, we give up this body and take another body based on our previous karma. So tatha dhantara prapti, Bhagavad Gita explains as we grow from childhood to youth to old age, and after old age, then we leave this body, and then go to another body. So this kind of transmigration is going on. Tatha dehantara prapti dhiras tatra namuhyati. The person who is dhira, who is knowledgeable, who is learned, is not bewildered by such change. But the demon like Kamsa is bewildered immediately, and he's going to do something heinous. So Vasudeva is trying to make him understand. See, body is perishable. You cannot live forever. And then, he also gives other reasons that, you are known to be a very great king in Bhoja dynasty. But if you kill your sister now, what people will talk about you? They will criticize you. There's a nice sloka Vasudeva says, I don't remember. It says, people will criticize you, and then you'll be ridiculed. You are such a great king, king of Mathura. He has done so many bad things, but Vasudeva has to praise him. In Hindi there is saying, जब काम पड़े तो गधे को भी बाप बना लो. जब काम पड़े तो गधे को भी बाप बना लो. मतलब praise him. Even when you have to praise even a third-class person to get your things done. So Vasudeva is trying to save Devaki, and he is praising Kamsa. Oh, you're such a great king, but if you kill your sister, your name will be ruined. So he goes on giving different options, and finally at the last he said that who knows there will be 8 sons of Devaki. There may not be, because Vasudeva already had so many queens. There were no children. So he was saying there may be or maybe not. But in any case, if there is a child, if there will be a child, I'll bring it to you. I will offer it to you, and you do whatever you want. But leave Devaki alone. Don't kill her. Yes, you are going to earn such a bad name. People will talk about you that he killed his own sister. He killed a woman, first of all. Women are not to be punished that way. Women are not to be killed. And she is not only a woman. She is your sister. And not only a sister, this is such an auspicious day today. We got married, and such an occasion you are going to kill your sister. That's too bad. Too bad of your name. And so and then the last point he gave was, I'll give you the child, if it weren't. So when Kamsa heard that, he was fully convinced. First of all, Vasudeva is a truthful person. He is known to be a Satyavadi, always speaker of the truth. He never spoke a lie in his life. So Kamsa knows this. He is a very trustworthy person. And then now he says, I'll bring you a child. Means he will bring me a child. So, I am free of deaths. The death will, the child as a death is born to me, to kill me. But the child, he brings a child, little child in front of me, I can immediately smash it. The child. I will kill the death. I'll become the victorious. I'll become the deathless. He was convinced. Such a fool. Vasudeva tricked him very much, very nicely. There is a sloka when Vasudeva says this. I'm going away the topics anyway, so I know. He says, Putran samarpayisesyaha yataste bhayamuthitam. Putran samarpayise, I will bring all the children, that will be born to Devaki, and from which you have fear, I'll bring them to you. And then, I was hearing one time, Radha Govinda Maharaj was speaking on this topic, and he was going very in detail. So he said, people may argue, people may question that Vasudeva said that he said, I will give all children to you. How come he just took one and ran away, middle of the night? What kind of truth speaker he is? So he gives a reason. It is not so. Vasudeva has spoken what he spoken, but Kamsa misunderstood. Vasudeva has said, even though it is written like that, but that can be translated in this way, that I will bring all the children to you from which you have no fear. But the one children, you fear of, I will never bring to you. So he says that Putran samarpayase asyaha yataste. Then you give the a in there according to grammar. There is a a you can hide. So yataste abhayam uthitam. Abhayam. Those children which we have no fear, I will bring them to you. But the Krsna, which you fear of so much, the eighth child, I will never bring to you. So he said, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives his explanation like this. So Vasudeva spoke the truth. He said, I will not bring the eighth child to you, but I will bring the other ones. The Kamsa understood what he understood because he was not a Sanskrit grammarian. He was not very good in Sanskrit. So he understood the very straightforward, whatever it was, but there was a hidden meaning in there. So he didn't know. So Bhagavatam is not speaking a lie. Vasudeva is not speaking a lie. So in this way, Vasudeva was able to convince him. And then he said, okay, you go home. Because he's supposed to be, leading them all the way to the home. But in the middle, half of the way, he said, I'm going home now. You go. But remember, I will put you in a jail. All your children need to be born in jail. Anyway, Vasudeva accepted, and then all those things happened. And the first child was born. Vasudeva, remembering his promise, took this child to the Kamsa. Kamsa says, this is very little child. What he can do to me? You take him. You take him back home. I am not afraid of him. He's very small. I don't want to kill. So Vasudeva thought, such a mode of goodness he is in today. He doesn't want to kill a child. He wanted to kill his sister. And today he's been such a nice mood. in the mood of goodness. But he's a Ashura, He can be any time up and down. Who knows? Any moment he'll be down. Mode of ignorance, passion. Those things go on and off. Because demons are not stable A learned person can be stable always in the mode of goodness. But the demons, they can never trust. It could be any time. Hiranyakashipu, he was always looking for Vishnu. Hey, Vishnu, I'm going to kill you. You kill my brother. And then when Lord Varaha killed Hiranyaksha, Hiranyaksha's wife and Hiranyaksha's mother and their children, his children, they all were crying, lamenting. And Hiranyakashipu goes and he gives such a nice Bhagavad Gita lecture, Bhagavad Gita lecture given by Hiranyakashipu. It is recorded in Bhagavatam, because the body is temporary, it comes and goes. The body, the soul is always there. He gives a nice lecture, but because the demon is unstable in his, even though they have knowledge, but they cannot work on that level of their knowledge. So they are overcome immediately by the mode of passion and ignorance. So as we can see always how demons are overtaken by the moods. But anyway, Vasudeva, Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Shabditam, it is said in Bhagavatam. The Vishuddha Sattva, we're supposed to be coming up to the mode of goodness. And then beyond that is Vishuddha Sattva. What is this called? Pure goodness. Pure goodness. The Vasudeva, that is the state of Vasudeva. Vasudeva is always in the pure state of mind. And one can become Vasudeva one can reach that level when one becomes pure of existence. Okay, I'm just going all over the place because I'm supposed to be leaving very soon. So, without any further delay, I will stop here. And if there is any questions and comments, please. Yes, Prabhu. Anaka Dundubhi. No. Anaka it's a name of that particular drum that's called a cattle drum. Yeah. It's a name. It's a name of one thing. Anaka Dundubhi. Yeah, Anaka. It's Aneka. Anaka. Yeah. Yeah, Anaka Dundubhi is the name of one drum. Yeah. Yeah. That's called Anaka Dundubhi. Yes. Something else? Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Krishna Swarup Prabhu.
Thank you.
I was Prabhupada in the purport, he mentioned of the verse of Krishna give remembrance and forgetfulness.
Yes.
And it seems that it's implied that it's a very common thing for since Prabhupada mentioned that Krishna, even devotees at the time of death, if their mind is flickering, he still comes, Krishna comes and gives remembrance, doesn't allow the devotee to forget his constitutional position and allows them to remember.
Yeah, Krishna is very grateful. Krishna is very grateful of our doings. If we are really, if we have ever done anything good, Krishna remembers that and he comes and gives, reverses us by fixing our mind, And at the time of death, if our mind is flickering, Krishna will think, that, oh, this fellow has done something to me. I have to make him remember me. So, Krishna gives this chance again, so that the mind will think of Krishna. That takes a lot of effort from our side. If we have followed the rules and regulations and followed the procedure properly, a certain amount of time or quite a long time, and Krishna is very, he's a well-wisher of the living entity. And so, being a well-wisher, Krishna gives Krishna gives again and again this chance that the mind, our mind may come back and remember Krishna. Just like Ajamila is given a second chance. Prabhupada wrote a book of it, second chance. Why? He, most of the part we read in Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Ajamila was totally sinful for whole life. But in his childhood, Bhagavatam also describes his childhood. He was such a brilliant Brahmana, very much engaged in the service of the deity, worshipping deity. Because that credit was still kept. Krishna doesn't forget. Any part of our life, if we have engaged in the service of Krishna, Krishna keeps that in mind, that this person has done something to me and I have to reward. So even though the most part of his life, for 80 years or, he was engaged in sinful activities. At the end, Krishna rewarded such a way that he was, even the Yamandutas could not carry him away. So that is the quality of Krishna. Krishna never forgets. There was one saying, I think Bhakti Rasamrita Swami said, the quality, what is the difference between us and Krishna, between us and God? That we get and forget. Krishna gives and forgives. Krishna gives us all the time. He is giving us, and any offense we make, Krishna always forgets. Forgives. He gives and forgives. And then we always ask him, please give me this, give me this, give me this, and we always have things according to whatever we deserve, and then we get and we forget. We get from Krishna all these things. I have wife, I have children, I have this, I have that, I have this ability and this and that, so many things Krishna has given. We try to forget, We always try to forget. So this is the difference. And then the other way to say is that anything we give, if we give ever, anything we give, then we always remember, oh, I have given something, I have given some money to this temple or that person or this and that. I have given. When we give, we always remember this person. But when we get from someone, we try to forget. For example, somebody gives us money, we try to think that, we try to assume that, if the person forgets, it's better, If the person forgets that he gave me some money, then I'll be okay. So I don't have to pay him back. That's our situation. Krishna gives and forgives. He gives and he forgives. And we get and we forget. Hare Krishna. So Krishna always helps because he is a well-wisher. He is ever well-wisher. Prabhupada used to shine. You are ever well-wisher, Bhaktivedanta Swami. Krishna is ever well-wisher. Matta smriti jnanam apohanam cha. Krishna makes us remembrance, and Krishna makes us forgive him. And but if anything we have done to Krishna, in our life, Krishna will reward. Krishna will come back again to fix our mind so that our mind can think of Krishna, remember Krishna. So that's a great quality of Krishna. Therefore, he is Parampita. Krishna declares in Bhagavad Gita, Pitaham asya jagata. I am the father of this world. Not only father, I am Mata, Dhata, Pitamaha. I am mother, I am nourisher, and I am grandfather. He's a father, he's a mother, he's a grandfather. What else he not? He's everything. Such a wonderful father. Such a wonderful grandfather who makes us remember him, even though we try to forget. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.